Park's Dolphin Theater. How's everyone doing today? That is excellent to hear. Well, my name is Nikki. I do have the pleasure of being your host for today's presentation, but more importantly, I have the honor of introducing the true stars of today's show, our 4-meal Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. Starting off with the teenager of the group, everyone, let's make some noise for 17-year-old Cosmo. Next up, we have the youngest member of the pod, 8-year-old Zeke. Then on to the left-hand side, we have the oldest member of the pod, 24-year-old Sebastian. Then last but certainly not least, we have Sebastian's son, 9-year-old Chopper. Well, I'd like to take this moment to thank each and every one of you for coming out today, allowing us a chance to share our family with yours. It is our hopes that after you leave the golf aquarium today, you'll go home to your own communities and share with them some of the amazing skills and adaptations of these mammals, as well as some of the dangers that face all marine mammals out in the ocean today. And yes, I did just call these dolphins mammals. However, it's not uncommon for people to mistake them as fish, since they do spend their entire lives in the water. But since they are mammals just like you and I, let's go over some of the characteristics that we share. Starting with the fact that as mammals, we are all born through live birth. A mother dolphin will give birth to a single dolphin calf after about a 54-week gestation period, which is a year-long pregnancy. That dolphin calf will come out weighing between 20 and 30 pounds and even be up to 3 feet in length. And since they are born through live birth just like you and I, check if you can see, dolphins also have belly buttons. Characteristic goes hand in hand with live birth, and that's how they will nurse our young. Dolphin calves nurse from their mothers for the first 1 to 3 years of their life. And they are able to do this underwater by curling their tongue into a straw. This creates a watertight seal to latch onto their mother's mammaries, so they only drink that rich, nutritious milk and none of the surrounding salt water that they live in. Alright, this next characteristic may seem a little bit odd for dolphins to have, but as mammals, we're all born with hair. But I'm sure some of you are looking down here thinking, wait a minute, I don't see a single hairy dolphin. And you're absolutely correct. However, dolphins are born with hair in the form of whiskers along that bottlenose beak or rostrum. We believe these whiskers are there to help the calves locate their mother's mammaries when they're learning how to nurse, but within the first few days of life, those hairs will simply just fall right out. Moving along, the next characteristic that we share is that we all breathe air using lungs. So I'm sure by now you've noticed that dolphins do not have gills like sharks and fish, but instead will breathe air, utilizing that small opening on the top of their head known as their blowhole. It is situated there so they can come to the surface for a quick breath of air before diving down and holding that breath for up to 7.5 minutes. Now this exchange of air is so quick, only takes a fraction of a second, so I'm actually going to turn it over to our boys as they show you just how quick that breath can be. Now it is also a little known fact that dolphins do not have vocal cords. So all those clicks, whistles, and squeals you hear them making come from that very same blowhole. They're able to make these sounds by manipulating air sacs just underneath that opening. And to show this off, our boys actually told me there's a very special birthday out there in the audience, so they have a special birthday song for Anaya, who is turning 8 years old. Let's go ahead and listen in. Once again, Anaya, happy birthday from your friends here at the golf aquarium. Well, we now made it to the final characteristic we share as mammals, and that's that we are all warm-blooded. This means that we are able to maintain a constant body temperature despite our surrounding environment. Dolphins actually have a very similar core body temperature to our own, somewhere in the mid to upper 90s. They're able to maintain this body temperature through thick layer of blubber just underneath their skin. In those colder winter months, they'll eat more food to thicken up that blubber layer so they can stay nice and warm in those colder winter waters. And here's Chopper to give you guys a better look. Well, now that we have gone over all the characteristics we share as mammals, I like to switch gears a bit and dive into some of the adaptations that make dolphins so well suited for their aquatic world. Mainly all those different fins and flippers. That was an excellent demonstration from Sebastian, however it was a pretty quick look. So we're going to go over all 5 of those fins and flippers into a little bit more detail, starting with the one on their back. This is known as their dorsal fin, and it acts much like a keel on a boat, helping to stabilize the dolphins as they move through the water. Now these dorsal fins do not have any bones in them, but instead are made completely out of dense connective tissue, similar to the cartilage in our ears and nose. And something interesting about these dorsal fins is that they're completely unique to each individual dolphin. So no two dolphins have the same dorsal fin, just like no two humans have the same fingerprint. So the next time you guys are downstairs looking through our underwater viewing windows, I challenge you to see if you can tell our dolphins apart by just those dorsal fins alone. Well, next we're going to move down to the sides of the dolphin's bodies to those pectoral flippers. This time it did say flippers instead of fins, and that's because these do have bones in them. In fact, if you were to take an x-ray of one of these flippers, you would see 5 bony digits just like the ones in our own human hands and feet. And not only are these flippers great for giving our trainers some high fives and handshakes, or even all of you a wave hello, they're also make dolphins so well known for all those lightning quick stops and sudden turns. Lastly, we're going to go all the way down to the ends of the dolphins to those tail fins or flukes. Now I did say flukes plural because there are 2 of them connected in the middle by what is known as the median notch. Now these tail flukes are similar to the dorsal fin in the fact that they do not have any bones in them, and they are completely unique to each individual dolphin. Connected to these tail flukes is the dolphin's powerhouse, a region known as the peduncle. It is full of very strong muscles that allow dolphins to do a variety of different things, including a common hunting technique known as a tail lob. This is where the dolphins smack the surface of the water so hard with those tail flukes that it stuns any surrounding prey, so all the dolphins have to do is gobble it right up. But it is also with the power of that peduncle that dolphins can reach burst speeds of over 20 miles an hour, as well as get their whole bodies up and out of the water to get a better look at all their surroundings. Also, at this point in our presentation, I'd like to answer a commonly asked question we get almost every day here at the Golfarium, and that is, just how do we train all the amazing behaviors you've seen throughout today's show? Well, the answer is positive reinforcement training. So what this means is when we ask the animals for a behavior and they do it correctly, we'll give them some type of reward. And if they do it incorrectly or simply choose not to do it at all, that's perfectly okay. We'll simply ignore the behavior for a couple seconds, then try again, or even just move on to something else. So to show you guys some of this training process, we're actually going to be working on a behavior known as a back bow with a Zeke. In its final form, what this will look like is Zeke will come out of the water head first with his belly facing the sky, creating an arching motion in the air before returning to the water head first. However, that's a pretty complex behavior, so there's no way we could have expected Zeke to know exactly what we wanted the very first time we asked. So like with all our behaviors, we broke it down to easier steps known as successive approximations. In fact, one of the first things our dolphins learn from a young age is known as a target. This is where they touch that rostrum to the flat open palm of a trainer's hand. It is with this target behavior we can begin shaping more complex behaviors by asking the dolphins to follow it around. For example, if we move it up and down, we just got our favorite answer of yes. But of course, side to side. Well, we just got a big no way. We can even make it fancy and spin around in a circle for a dolphin style hula dance.